welcome to Point in Progress Podcast, Episode 20, your one-stop shop for news, recommendations, and some spicy takes. Join 5 friends across 3 time zones and 2 countries every week as we discuss all things we love while still thinking critically about them. Welcome to the podcast, y'all. Episode 20. We made it. Who would have thunk? I did it.
We're not done yet? Oh, no.
Oh, no.
We haven't getting canceled yet? Oh.
I am so excited to be joined by my lovely co-host, Fee. How are you doing?
I am doing great, except it's a little bit hot today, but I'm doing good other than that.
Toasty.
That's unfortunate.
Little toasty.
Yeah.
Harv, how you doing?
I'm doing well. It is chilly here today. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Right.
I had some pad thai today. It was really freaking good.
Okay.
Okay, it was really good. It's the first time.
Alright.
This first time I had Thai food in probably a year and a half, maybe even 2 years. Who really knows?
Who knows?
I love Thai food.
Yeah.
Harv, I just went to you, Harv. Frank, how you doing?
Good. I'm trying to figure out if I want bacon on my double quarter pounder with cheese right now.
Of course you do. Why is that a question?
Why wouldn't
I think
you?
I'm gonna get a bacon one. Yeah, I've been pretty good. I've been playing a lot of stuff. Not a lot of stuff, just one thing. A lot of that one thing.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Mario, how's it going?
I'm doing
Are you
good.
also-
Oh my
How you
god!
doing?
I
Of
knew
course
you
had
would
to
do
do it.
that.
I knew
I
he was
knew
gonna
you
do
would
it.
do
Of
that.
course I was going to do it. I can do camera
All
changes
right.
now. It's wonderful. I'm doing great. I'm having a good time. It's
Glad to
pump up the
hear
jams.
it.
Let's go.
Pump up the jams indeed as we dive into segment number 1, the checkpoint. Quick little housekeeping. We made it to episode 20. Thank you so much. I don't know how we got here, but I'm so glad that we are here. Thank you for the support. We love you all so much. Also, a little point in conversation released recently. Mario, you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, it was a pilot idea that came up when we were still developing everything and what other shows that we could do. And one of the shows that I really wanted to do was just have an intimate conversation with another person. And Fee answered the call for the first episode, where honestly, it's not based on any, media or anything. It just so happens to evolve, that just the conversation evolves into that. It's asking about their personal life. So honestly, just wanted the chance to hang out with my friends for an hour, and this is the start of hopefully many episodes. Of course, this was the pilot release because we released it in conjunction with the last episode of Halo Forever, which also featured Fee. So we've, if you have some content, very different vibes. If you watch between the videos, one is Fee screaming for her life. The other, of course, is her giving out her life story. So definitely recommend checking both pieces of content. One on our PiP channel, and then of course at the YouTube that Mario Rivera as well. But it was a blast, and hopefully we'll do more.
I love that. It was so good. I love a good conversational podcast with no direction that just kind of evolves, and that's what it was. It's so good.
Yeah.
All
Great
right.
feedback. Great feedback.
Yeah, we're gonna hop into what we've been playing. But y'all have been playing one thing, so I'm gonna go first and then let y'all yell about what you've been playing. I've been playing Fossil Corner, which if you caught me on any of the 6-1 indie stuff, you knew I was very excited about it. It's basically you get a box of fossils and you have to sort the lineage of the fossils. It's so relaxing. It's so fun. Incredible. Probably my game of the year right now. Love it. I wanted to update on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I know I was very high on it last week. I just finished season 5. Season 3, pretty okay. Season 4, not great till the end. Season 5, absolute dog trash.
You can feel the roller coaster just going down as the season started progressing.
Yeah. I still stand by seasons 1 and 2 are excellent. They were amazing. I loved what they were doing within the universe. Once it got decanonized, just
Yeah,
straight,
it's like they
straight down.
it's like they lost the direction of the show, and they're like, you know what? We don't have a direction anymore. We're just gonna do shit.
No, to be fair to the show, they had a direction, but Kevin
They had a
Feige
direction.
and Joe loves. Anyways, the TV and the movies, they just had a fight and basically went into two separate directions.
That's exactly what I mean, though. Like I mean,
Yeah.
like after the fight happened, the TV show had no direction after that. They're just like, well, we don't know what we're aiming towards anymore.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then also, I just want to give a shout out to Loki episode 6 and Black Widow. We're not going to talk about it, but they were great.
Yes.
And I just started reading a new book. It's called Ballad of the Whiskey Robber. It's a nonfiction book about a bank robber. Pretty good so far. So that's what I've been up to. You want to tell me about a little indie game called Final Fantasy 14?
I'm the only one that I'm also playing it, so y'all talk. Go ahead and speak.
Who wants to start?
You two start.
Oh yeah, so yeah,
pretty good.
That's, it's pretty good. Yeah, so we started this about like what 2 weeks ago, I would say. We're about 2 weeks.
Has it already been 2 weeks? I have 15 days left on my
Kate
subscription,
Rose.
so yeah.
Never
Yeah,
heard of it.
so 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so 2 weeks.
2
ago.
weeks, yeah.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. The critically acclaimed MMORPG.
I mean, anything. I'm critically acclaimed. I could say I'm critically acclaimed. I'm just saying.
That's true.
That's true.
But yeah, so I am the veteran when it comes to this game. Fia and Frank are like the newbies, and I want to try to get through the story and try to go through like some of the content that was relevant when I was playing way back like 5 years ago. And so we're just trying to just get through the story and stuff like that. We have a lot of people from Point in Progress that are in the chat sometimes joining the free company as well. So we're all kind of getting together and just kind of playing the game together and running stuff.
The one thing I want to say that I really love about is that as we're recording, I can see 3 people in our Discord playing Final Fantasy right now.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
but coming from like, so the cool thing about this is that we got people coming from different kinds of backgrounds where like I've never played World of Warcraft. I went from Final Fantasy 11 right to Final Fantasy 14. So like I've been in the Final Fantasy ecosystem for a while, I guess you would call it. Fee is coming from World of Warcraft to Final Fantasy 14, so from another MMO and going to this one.
Yeah.
And Frank, I don't think he's ever really played an MMO, like legit,
No.
like sat down like the actual like retail MMO.
Yeah, definitely not. I haven't played an MMO extensively. I've played them, like I've touched them here and there, but I would say like after about 2 or 3 days, it kind of just fizzles out, and I just play something else. Usually,
Yeah, exactly. But I think we're getting longevity out of this because we're all playing together. We're all questing together. We're all doing fights together and learning the fights and stuff like that all together. So
yeah. Also, the game's actually kind of fun. Like that's what helps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like actually going through the game. The
That's
traversal is really
important.
fun. The one thing I hate about other MMOs is traversal. You know what I mean? Like Final Fantasy gives you your mount within like I would say 30 levels. Most MMOs don't really do that. A lot of like the free or like the other ones, you really have to kind of grind to get your mounts and stuff like that. So like by the time you're like level 60, then yeah, you can move around the map pretty well, but then you've already had to have like put an extensive amount of time into the game in order to like move around the map pretty quick.
yeah. But yeah, that's kind of what my spiel is for Fee. Where you can.
It has been a trip and a half, that is for freaking sure. No, it went from me saying I did not want to play another MMO because I played one for 5 years, and to me now purchasing the collector's edition of Endwalker months before it gets released. And just constantly playing it every single day. So it's been a lot of fun. There are definitely some things that I'm not particularly a fan of, but there are other things that I think are a lot stronger, and we'll get into conversations later on in this episode about just like the functionality of Final Fantasy and the comparison, because it has been a very hot topic recently, comparing the two, those being World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy. And having a background of World of Warcraft, it's very interesting to see what's happening right now. So I'm excited to talk about that later on in the episode.
It's funny
Yeah,
where
we
the
got in at a
discourse is
wild
going.
time.
Where the discourse
Yeah.
is going with this
Yeah.
stuff.
We got into this game at a wild time because we didn't plan this. Like it was more of just like, hey, Harv, we're gonna play this game, and then like we played, like we said, what, 2 or 3 days later that we're gonna play, and then like the whole thing we're gonna talk about happened, and then it's like, holy crap, okay. We got in at literally a day before this game blew up.
It's been nuts.
It sounds to me like Fee needs to go to MMORPG Anonymous.
I was
but-
there. And
That was
lost
the
my
ongoing
tokens.
joke. Is that
I had to
we've
get my
been-
tokens back. I had to talk to my sponsor. My sponsor's really not happy right now. And I'm just having to accept my fate at this point.
That's the thing. Like, I've never actually left. Like, I legit, I don't think I've ever left an MMO in the time that I've started playing MMOs. When I was, I want to say, when Final Fantasy 11 came out, that was the dark time. That's the darkest time. That's where it all began.
Mhm.
When I think I was in grade 12 at the time. I think grade 11 or grade 12. And after that, MMOs just took over my life pretty much.
Yeah.
They just took over my life. But obviously, this one isn't as grindy as Final Fantasy 11, where you have to be on for like it's like World of Warcraft, like Classic or something like that, where you have to be on for like 13, 14 hours a day. This one is like you could play for like 3 or 4 hours, you're done. You could do something else, kind of type thing.
It doesn't want your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's again, that's another reason why I don't play a lot of MMOs, because it's like, as much as I would love to, I like to play other games. So if I have to play something that literally requires me to give it my life, then I probably can't do it.
Yeah.
Won't play it.
Just don't have the time for that kind of stuff.
Before we
don't have
get
time for real
into
life.
the craziness that is going on in the outer world with Final Fantasy 14 right now, Mario, what have you been up to this week?
So I've been watching actually primarily just a lot of movies. I haven't been able to really game much. However, I did finish Ratchet and Clank finally, and it is a Ratchet and Clank game. I've gotten through it. It looks very pretty. The gun that I want, I have to do some grinding for, and that sucks. But other than that, I thought it was a decent experience overall. Very pretty showcase for the system for PS5. But I think I'm ready for more games. That's been my general consensus about thinking about Ratchet and Clank. It's just, yeah, there was a game. I want more. I want more games. Either Spider-Man or God of War or even Horizon. I think I'm more starving for.
I think once fall hits, I think we're going to start seeing some games. I feel
sure.
like we're still in a lull period now when it comes to
Yeah.
like the bigger games.
Even though like everyone in the group's doing like Final Fantasy, I'm still finding myself going back to like Fortnite.
Yeah, exactly. But that's
So,
what I mean, right? This
yeah.
is the lull games that we're playing. Like we go back to like some people go back to
Mhm.
Warzone, Fortnite, us Final Fantasy. Like
Yeah.
it's just like one of those like lull periods where like once the fall hits and we actually have like a date for Horizon and we have like the new Call of Duty's coming out and then maybe something else coming out at the fall,
Yeah,
we're probably going to be like this for a little bit at least.
that's
Yeah,
it.
maybe Halo.
Maybe Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Halo.
Maybe Halo.
Maybe Halo. That said, I mean, I've been diving deep back into Fortnite. I got my Loki skin. Very happy about that. Bought Thanos and I bought Daredevil because I had some extra coins laying around. And I'm very close to getting Rick Sanchez, so we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, yeah, like I said, just been playing those. Movies I've been watching though, I watched Escape Room Championship of Tournament of Championships. Don't watch it; it's not worth it.
Good to
Watching
know.
Sopranos season 2. I know that Frank has beaten me quite a bit, and he's now waiting for me, and I'm trying to
I'm
get
on the
there.
final season.
He's on the final
I'm
season.
in the final season.
This is what Final Fantasy does to you.
I
But,
messaged, I told him when he was at work, I was just like, look, I'll wait for you for the final season. We'll get some cigars, some gabagool, and we'll finish
Oh
finish
my
it off
God.
together.
You
I
guys,
did
you
the
guys
same-
got to do like a skit when you guys about to start season 6
Oh,
of you guys
dude,
with
we should totally
cigars.
do that
and-
with the fucking
Oh, totally.
Sopranos music.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
You,
Intro?
you on the scooter? Please, can you be you on the scooter? Just. That'll be
Oh,
so funny.
dude, we're making this video.
Okay,
now.
we're making
It's
a skit.
happening.
No, we're doing the skit.
I
But
cannot
yeah.
wait.
Yeah.
I mean, it's it's funny. It's a tradition for old like shows that I'm like finished all the way through. Like I did it for Breaking Bad, Twin Peaks. When the season 3 happened, I actually got cake. I'm sorry, not cake. I'm sorry, a cherry pie and some ice cream. It was wonderful. So yeah, gabagool and a cigar. Why not? Or
Yeah, gabagool and cigars. I can't think of anything else to plan.
the
Or some or like Anthony Jr. said in the first season, what, no fucking baked ziti?
yeah, big ziti. That'd be great.
I
But
love a good CD.
yeah, that's about it. Oh, Space Jam. I watched Space Jam 1 over again. It was not as bad as I remember it. I thought it was gonna be worse. It ended up being actually decent. I was like, this is Michael Jordan, not bad. I watched
It's
majority of the
fine.
new one. It's fine.
The
Fine
worst-
is the
the
I
best.
would say it's fine.
Worst
It's
thing-
fine.
the worst thing
soundtrack
about-
slaps.
One of the
Yeah.
worst things is probably R. Kelly because of R. Kelly.
course.
But I mean, the song
Yeah.
"I Believe You Can Fly" is,
Yeah.
it's a certified
It's
song.
It's a fucking
Yeah,
like
it's a certified
Ignition
song.
is fucking a song.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyways, yes, fuck R. Kelly.
I didn't even know R. Kelly was even in that movie.
He's
Yeah,
not.
No, he did the soundtrack.
It's
He did
music.
the, yeah, he
Is it
did the
the soundtrack?
soundtrack. Yeah.
I believe
okay.
I can fly. That's him. Space Jam 2. It's a movie.
I've been
I
hearing
watched
mixed
it
things
yet.
about it. I've been hearing mixed,
It's just-
like I've seen people say like this is exactly what I expected from Space Jam to like
It's not.
what did I just watch?
It's not a sequel, but it references it. The sequel. It's weird. It's I don't know. LeBron does a great job. By the way, he's actually a really great actor. He's great in Trainwreck. He's great here. Everything else is just bizarre, and it's filled with shit. Like the one thing I was going to spoil, I'm not going to spoil it now because the people will kill me. But yeah, there's some stuff that happens in that movie. But anyways, that's what I've been watching and playing. A lot of Fortnite and a lot of Space Jam.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I'm not
bef-
excited about either, but like I'm like I kind of want to watch it because I'm a Space Jam fan. So like I don't know.
Just watch it. Just see. Just get through it. It's
Watch
free.
it.
Also,
Once
before we
I finish-
continue,
Wait till it's
I'll
on, wait till
continue.
it's free.
Yeah. It's on
No,
HBO Max.
no, I was just
See
gonna
what were you
say,
saying?
I was gonna say that I wanted to talk about something I watched this week because
Oh,
I
what'd you watch?
Ooh, what'd you watch?
So I watched a show called Mars Red. Now I'm gonna give you a heads up that this is an anime. However, it was an anime that was based on a dramatic stage reading that was created by the anime creator himself, and it references a bunch of theater throughout. First episode, you meet a
You're
woman
speaking my language.
who is a vamp. You find out that there is a lieutenant who is leading a specific team called Team Zero. Team Zero is a group of vampires, soldiers that had become vampires during the World War I, because this particular show is based in the Tao Shou period, which is between World War I and World War II. And so these soldiers have to specifically deal with these vampires, or at least this disease they specifically say at the beginning, and then they realize that it's vampires quite early on, the vampire virus. But yeah, the
virus.
very first episode, there is a woman who is quoting Salome consistently, and all she does is respond to people by referencing her monologue and constantly saying that. And it's a lot, it's crazy. I'm not going to specifically give any more details because a lot of it is intertwined and you don't really realize it until you get into a few episodes, because some of the relationships you're like, this doesn't make any sense, and then you're like, whoa, wait a second, and then you have to go back because you're like, this is insane. So I highly recommend it. The art style is
Alright.
very good, and all the characters themselves are really good, the storylines themselves, and they also reference a lot of things that actually happened during that time period, such as the major earthquake that hit that particular area at that time. And so the entire story changes because of that earthquake. So it's very interesting to see how they kind of have that ebb and flow between like fiction and reality. So I highly recommend it. And yeah, I'm not finished it yet. So next week when we record and I'll give my thoughts on what I think at the end. I'll give it a score next week.
There you go.
All right. I'm going to take a tangent, slightly related. You said vampire soldiers, and it made me think of a show that has recently been airing with witch soldiers called Motherland Fort Salem.
Oh,
Have
I've heard of
any
this.
of you seen that?
I've heard of Fort
It-
Salem.
So it's season 1 aired like
Is that on the ABC Family?
early pandemic, and
Yeah.
then season 2's going on right now. And basically there's like a line of like witches that fight in a war, and then in order to like protect themselves become like partnered with the US Army. And
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah,
it's
I have
pretty
heard of the
good.
show. I have heard of the show.
Feeder said vampire soldiers and it reminded me of it. I've been watching through it, and season 2's been pretty interesting. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Nice. Loki's
Alright.
got me back into that weird fiction of like, why not mix just things together? Like I'm back in that Doctor Who mode. So like, yeah, give me vampire anime / army people or army witches. That sounds fun. Give me all those.
Give me
weird
some more
stuff. I'm into it.
crossovers.
I'm
Okay,
into
well,
this.
I will
All the
send you some
crossovers.
suggestions then, because there's been some crazy things during this year's seasons of anime. That is for
Yes.
sure.
Chainsaw Man.
Love that for
Yeah.
y'all. All
Okay.
right. With that being the checkpoint, let's hop in to our second segment, the patch notes. Frank, are you ready to take it away?
Yeah, we have a lot of news this week, so I'm going to get right
Okay.
into it. Our first article comes from Windows Central's Jez Corden. Final Fantasy XIV is about to eat World of Warcraft's lunch. So we talked
Oh,
about this
boy.
earlier, of how we got into Final Fantasy at a very weird time. So 2021 has not been very kind to Blizzard. After recent backlash to the content being added and the direction WoW is taking, many players are leaving the popular MMO for other options. So yeah, if you haven't been following what's been going on in like the last week or two, World of Warcraft is having a very, very hard mass exodus. If I remember correctly, the metrics are like they've lost up to almost about 2 million players, and it's growing every day.
Wow.
And that is insane
That's a
to
lot.
think about, because at least growing up, I never played World of Warcraft. I mean, I played World of Warcraft, but I never played World of Warcraft like, Fee did.
Yeah.
But growing up, World of Warcraft's always been king of that market. They've always been the number one MMO. They've always held that number one MMO. And for years, I think we even had this conversation years ago, Mario, is just like, I don't think they're ever going to get dethroned. And we're starting to see the cracks finally show in Blizzard and stuff like that. We're seeing ex-Blizzard employees coming out and talking about how Blizzard is not how it used to be. It's a totally different workplace. There's leaks here and there that are unconfirmed, but I'm not going to talk about those because if they're not confirmed, but if they are real, then the workplace is not a great place to work right now. You have Blizzard employees lashing out at players and players lashing out at Blizzard employees. And then you just kind of have Blizzard being very ignorant to their competitors right now. They don't seem to recognize any other MMOs as direct competitors to themselves, either though they are losing players to a specific one.
Yeah.
B, I know you are our Blizzard / WoW expert.
The resident,
Because you've had
the
the most
resident
time with
Blizzard
them.
WoW expert.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hate to bring you back from your I hate to bring you back from your MMO Anonymous, but please tell us how different Blizzard's direction is from where WoW was when you were in to where WoW is now.
Oh my god. Okay, how long do we have? Because it's gonna be a fucking doozy. No, it's just you could see it when I was playing it that the direction that they were taking when it came to like the overall story arcs and just what they wanted to do when it comes to like overall like player experience. It became not so great when I was playing it. To kind of give everyone who's listening some understanding of my time, I played for 5 years. I started right at the end of Burning Crusade, and I ended right around the first few months of Mist of Pandaria. So I played for 5 years, and I particularly stopped just because of the way that Cataclysm ended, which honestly was not a great way to deal with it. At that particular time, they rushed the end content for an expansion that they hyped for years, and then proceeded to say, oh, now we have competition. So they rushed the last raid. So you were just fighting essentially just a dragon head, and it was it. It wasn't particularly really great, well done. And the way that Blizzard kind of like dealt with it was like, you guys wanted this fight, here you go. But here, this is how we're gonna fix it by giving you panda people. Congratulations. Like, no, it's just, it's been a while coming. I think they're really like understanding, or at least respect for their players ended at the end of Wrath of the Lich King. Like, you killed the Lich King. I'm sorry for spoilers.
Oh, dude, come on, man. I was
so
gonna play this fucking 10-year-old expansion soon.
I'm sorry. At this point, it's 13 years old, which, oh my god, kill me now. But
Ruined.
it's at that particular point, you just kind of saw this kind of shift. And then ever since then, it's been a matter of taking these characters that are beloved by the fan base and just running them into the ground where they either should have died or lived happily ever after. They're just like, hey, you know what? We are going to take a person that had an evil arc, then died, became evil, like they were good-ish, they were like neutral, then they died, came back as a banshee, then proceeded to be evil, then had a redemption arc to just bring her back to be kind of like okay and then helping with the horde, but now she might be evil again depending on if she gets possessed by a specific being. Yeah. If you want to be confused, look up Lady Sylvanas, you're welcome, who changed races, roles, and just overall absolute confusion. So it's just been really irritating to see that, and just the way that they've been dealing with the expansion since that particular point. There was Mist of Pandaria, there was Legion, and now we're just seeing a bunch of shifts where it's just, I'm getting really heated and irritated by this, because I played for 6 nights a week. I raided, I did arenas, I did PvP. My life revolved around World of Warcraft for such a long period of time. To just see them completely disrespect their player base is absolutely atrocious. Like, realize that you have a massive fan base. At their prime, they had about 32 million people subscribe per month, and it's been a nosedive since then. And now that they're upset that they have a very strong competitor, because, and the conversation that Frank and Mario was correct, they had a time where there was no competitors. They saw people come into the ring and say like, hey, we're a new MMO, to just get completely annihilated, because people go to those from World of Warcraft and be like, you know what, nah. Like, yeah, there was Guild Wars.
Unless your ass is named EverQuest, no one gives a shit.
Yeah, there was Guild Wars. Yeah, there was Lineage 2. There is there's Black Desert and all these other MMOs.
Matrix Online.
Lord of the Rings Online.
Yeah, and then there
DC
was
Online.
Yeah.
The Old Republic. There's a bunch of them, but none of them were as prevalent as World of Warcraft. And now that they have such a competitor such as Final Fantasy 14, where they recognize like, hey, this is a place that you actually deal with, and people, my goodness, a company that listens to their player base to a point that they actually realize that the first iteration of their game sucked so badly that it's now a story plot call, and they're just like, hey, you know what, 5 years ago this event happened, and now we've healed from that experience. Like, that is such a cool idea. And World of Warcraft has so many specific situations where they could have done something like that, but instead they took the money that they received from people paying subscriptions each month, dabbed their tears with $100 bills, and just threw it out. And right now, it's going from 32 million to now having 2.2 million concurrent.
2.2 million. It's such a stark. It's 30 million players lost within its height.
Yeah, because they used to have Mr. T, they had Lights, they had a bunch of these celebrities coming to talk about World of Warcraft, and now it's just, instead of realizing hey, we've lost a large part of our fan base to this other game, maybe we should do something different, they have people snapping at creators that are moving over to this other game.
Yeah, we'll touch on the creator part in the next article, but it's honestly, it's weird because we're in a time with games where we have the people playing games right now have an actual voice, because you can directly talk to these people now on Twitter, Facebook, all these different platforms. The problem is that some people take it a little too far. some people, you know, and it gets muddy. It like
Yeah.
like every time a gamer wants to speak, a lot of the times the developer will just dismiss it. And I do think that's kind of bullshit, because you have to realize at the end of the day that the people who are criticizing your game are the ones who are playing it.
Yep.
However, I do know that people will take it too far. The way Blizzard is acting, though, towards their players, especially people like Asmongold, for example, the guy may be kind of an asshole every now and again, but the guy has been playing your game for over 8 years. If anybody knows what your game needs to keep its players playing that game, it's him. And calling him an asshole as a Blizzard employee is probably not a good idea when he is bringing in 200,000 people on a Twitch stream.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our next article. We'll talk more about the WoW thing. These two are very much together. Basically the second article is comes from IGN's Matt TM Kim. Final Fantasy 14 is so popular that Square Enix stopped selling it. So to piggyback on what's going on with the WoW Exodus, we definitely got into Final Fantasy 14 at a good time, because this week for a short period you couldn't even purchase the game. Reports show that for a while, when you went to purchase the game on Square Enix's website, by the way, Square Enix, your website shit. It's hard to purchase your game. When an ex-WoW employee is going on record saying your game is great, it took me 3 hours to even fucking purchase it, you know you have a problem. But
it's so bad, Mario. Mario Slide. It is so, like, you want to give them money. You're like, take my money, and they're like, nah, we don't want your money. It's like, are you sure? It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, like, what the fuck, dude?
So wait. Isn't this game a free download and then 60 levels or some shit?
Yeah,
but then after that, you can't pay for it more?
I mean,
no,
you can play it.
You can play
there's
it.
There's no limit on playtime.
Got
up
it.
to level 60.
Got it.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you want to pay them. If, like, you know what, I like this game. This is a great game. I want to buy this game. It takes like hours to buy this game because you don't know where the fuck to go. You're like, do I have this account? Do I have this account? Do I buy it off you guys, or do I buy it off Steam? If I have a Steam account, I can't buy it off you guys anymore. What is happening?
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. But yeah, for a little bit there, when you tried to purchase the game on Square Enix's website, it would give you the option to be put on a wait list, which is insane because the game's digital.
So Final Fantasy 14 PS5 edition.
Yeah. I mean, it's coming out soon. PS5 edition for it. Yeah.
Hey, maybe that's when I'll start playing.
You get a free upgrade if you own it for PS4.
Oh boy.
So the reason why we moved over to this article quick because we're starting to talk about the other stuff. This does come from a big influx of recent controversies because of WoW and popular streamers like Asmongold and all these other streamers moving to Final Fantasy, who were previously WoW streamers, and these people are bringing pretty decent numbers, from at least 10,000 to 200,000 at some point. I think the metric on Asmongold's stream of unique viewers when he was starting Final Fantasy 14 was 918,000. People who have tuned into that. So it doesn't look good on Blizzard's part when you have your biggest player going to another game and millions of people are seeing, or at least 1 million people are seeing that. But yeah, it's
so the whole thing with the keys is like they just didn't have enough pre-generated keys. That was the main problem. Like that's what happens when you have that kind of moment. But the thing is, like, the fact that, like, so when I started the game, our server was very small. It was a very small server. Not many people. Like, there was a lot of people there, but not many. Like, you could navigate and stuff like that. Now it's a queue to get into the server now. Like, what the fuck? I'm just trying to play it. Now there's like a 60 to 100 people like queue to actually get in. And just seeing this influx kind of makes me happy. And the fact that, like, this is even expansion time. Once the expansion hits, I don't know what's going to happen. When the new expansion hits in November. I have no idea what's going to happen. But like a lot of
I'd say Square Enix is just gonna be looking like this, just like straight scared, straight terrified.
Dude, that's gonna be them. Yeah, that's legit
like,
gonna be them.
I'm terrified.
Yeah.
Oh no.
The whole thing with like, so I've played classic World of Warcraft and I've played this game when it first came out too. So like when you look at both of these games, I I'm a more story-driven kind of person. Like, I want story over everything else. And that's something that World of Warcraft just doesn't have is story. They have good lore. They have really, really good lore with all the characters, like Arthas and Thrall and all these different characters that you have in World of Warcraft or just Warcraft in general.
Yeah.
But when I was playing Classic, I was just like, there's no driving force that makes me want to go be like, you know what, one more story quest. It's just not there. With this game, there is like a driving force that makes you go like, oh man, I gotta see what happens next. Sure, there's filler quests and stuff like that. We're like, oh, you want to go get me 3 feathers? It's like, okay, well, fuck, fine. But like that comes with any kind of MMO. That comes with any kind of MMO, really.
Fuck, fine. I'll get you your 3 feathers.
They gotta pad out that $12 a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing is like, one of the other biggest things that I've noticed now is like, Final Fantasy keeps content that is 5 or 6 years old still relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Like today, when we finish this, we're gonna do a raid that came out 5 or 6 years ago, but it's still relevant because it's fun. It's a fun raid. It is something that is like the mechanics are really fun. The story is really good. But when you look at World of Warcraft, it's like you go to the end game and that's it. You miss everything that's in between from starting your character to end game. Because there's nothing, it's just fluff in the middle of it.
The issue is, and then they tried to combat this by having phasing areas, which I don't even want to talk about phasing areas because it's literally one of the banes of my existence, because I tried to go back during Legion to a point where I was so confused because it was phasing in and out and then it was freezing and then there was other issues, and I looked online and people were still having the same problem, and I'm like, they literally introduced phasing back in Cataclysm and you're still having this issue now, like 3-4 years later.
Phasing is like where you go into a zone, you have 3 different instances you can go into.
So what happens is you go into this area and nothing has happened. So they kind of do this in ESO, but it works in ESO. So you go into this area, you gain 1 quest. Once you've completed that 1 quest, more things open up in that area. But once you finish that quest, no one who's not been to that area before can see you, because now you are in different instances of this particular area.
Yeah.
Which they tried to do this to kind of, it seems like going to ESO for a little bit, because I played that last year for a few months. They successfully do that in that game because it's like world building, and then you see like, okay, so this massive like volcano in the middle of your starting area in ESO is about to explode because this particular god has been poisoned for months upon months. And then you see all this happening, and then the city at the end of the storyline becomes built, and you're like, okay, this is awesome. In World of Warcraft, it's just a matter of, it just didn't specifically work, and a lot of people put in comments on that, and instead they just added more to it, and it's just really disheartening for me because I was so in love with this particular like game for years. Like I had friends from that game. I had a lot of great experience in that game. I spent so much time and money and effort into that game, and to just see it kind of dwindle into this like almost like it's an ego fest at this point. And I'm going to explain why. They've realized that they've been on top for so long when it comes to MMORPGs, that now them trying to make any adjustments because someone might call them out on it is a hit to their ego, because they're like, no, we're the best. We have no problems. Why would we this multi at one point like hundreds of millions of dollar game now dwindled into essentially like a couple million users per month have any problems? Like people are specifically saying this, and it's not just one person. The reason why you're only hearing it from one person is because you're only paying attention to the guy who has over 100k viewers at one point on Twitch, because there's people who've been having the same fucking issue that when it comes to Twitch and when it comes to on World of Warcraft, because there have been actual streamers who said like, I've been having issues for months, if not years, when it comes to the World of Warcraft community and harassment and stream sniping, and Blizzard does nothing. But then when Square Enix sees that this is happening to a new person, while he might have a lot of viewers, they still listened and they banned a bunch of people that were stream sniping him and causing him to like not be able to enjoy the game, because they're like, that's not how this game should be running. You guys shouldn't be griefing him. So it's really nice to see that. Yeah, I said some not so great things about Square Enix during E3 because I wasn't particularly thrilled with their games, but
I mean,
they
half
have
their
a lot of
games weren't
integrity.
looking good.
They weren't looking good, but they have a lot of integrity.
Integrity.
Thank you. For some reason, my mouth doesn't want to like make that specific like word
It's
happen.
a weird mouth feel.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
weird.
it is.
I mean, but yeah,
Not a good one.
I know I've been ranting about this, but it's because I was so invested for years.
I put
that
these
it-
in here just for you because like you're the WoW expert.
It
haven't
just
played WoW.
bothers me, and I know I've been ranting to you guys while we were playing Final Fantasy about this, but it's just disheartening
No.
to see like this game that at the beginning was all about the players and was all about like, oh man, we're going to be experiencing this storyline and this thing together, to now like, let's throw it out there and see if the viewers are going to be happy with it, but we don't really care because we're making the money. And there are people who work at Blizzard who are like, who want to see better things for Blizzard, and I'm hoping that this is a wake-up call and that they take this as an opportunity rather than just sitting back and being like, hey, we've been the best for so long, because at this point they're not the best at this point. They're not the best
There was
in 2021.
There was an interesting thing that Yoshi P, the guy that the creative director behind Final Fantasy 14,
Yeah.
he was talking about what it takes to make a good MMO, and like to run an MMO is like running a country, where you have to listen to your citizens.
honestly.
Yeah, you have to listen to people that are playing, because the people that are gonna leave are the silent majority. They're the people that are gonna be like, they're not gonna say anything. They're just gonna leave.
Yeah, they're gonna give your exit survey like a lullaby.
Yeah,
type
exactly.
Deal, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what I was touching on earlier with that. It's just like, don't insult your fan base, the people who are playing your game.
Yeah.
Like, listen to them, see what kind of constructive criticisms they're giving you, because like the MMOs are tough to make. They're tough to get off the ground, especially when you have games that are like you look at battle royales, it's kind of the same way. When you have Fortnite, you have Warzone now. It is so hard to get yourself a little piece of that pie now, because it is so it's just these two games suck out all the oxygen out of the room.
And it's not like building a normal game. Like, yeah, you have to like create the environments and create the story, but you also have to like, I mean, they bring in real ass economists in to design the economies. Like, you're literally creating a little world. Like, it takes so much work and so much investment before it can even get off the ground, that if you don't listen to the people who are telling you what problems they're having, it's not going to go anywhere and you're going to be screwed.
Yeah.
It sounds like if the government would listen to the people and what they want,
Exactly.
and then actually make the changes.
Right?
Exactly. That's
The developers of the government, the people are the ones who inhabit it.
yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Hot take.
Yeah, hot take. One thing that I really would like people to go look at is the No Clip documentary that is Final Fantasy 14. It's a three-parter, and just them going through a development hell of 1.0 and then trying to keep that game running.
Oh, this game was trash fire when it launched.
Yeah. Oh, it was so bad.
It was a dumpster fire.
It's because Final Fantasy 11 devs took over Final Fantasy. They started making Final Fantasy 14. You can't make Final Fantasy 11 modern day anymore. That game just does not work modern day. It's too grindy. There's just not people aren't patient enough to have like a Final Fantasy 11 kind of game. And plus, it feels dated too, very dated.
Sure.
So
it's a very stark contrast between how WoW treats like dumpster fires and how Square Enix treats dumpster fires. Because Square Enix said, you know what, you guys obviously don't like this. We can't continue to do this, or else we'll just keep bleeding. So we'll put a bandage on. We'll save face. We'll make an event. We'll scrap it all, and we'll just start from some scratch. And look what happened. And WoW is just like, well, guys. We know you guys want how WoW used to be, but this is WoW now, and you may not like it, but you're gonna, and that's just it.
Yeah,
it takes balls to do what Square Enix did.
Yeah, they apologized.
It really does take balls.
They apologized, and they kept working on 1.0 while they were working on 2.0. Like they kept the servers running. They kept little bug fixes and stuff like that to get like the game to a particular state, and then they got to the point where they're just like, "This is it. We are destroying this world, And then on the last day, everybody got the same cutscene once the servers went down, which is the first cutscene that goes into A Realm Reborn, which bridges the two games together.
Which is fucking sick, by
That's
the way.
okay. It's fucking Fortnite stole that because that's basically what Chapter 2 was.
Yeah,
It's sick.
Yeah, right when
That's sick.
right when the servers went down, you get a message, and then right when you hit OK, you get the cutscene that bridges 1.0 to A Realm Reborn.
Yeah, Fortnite learned from that for sure then, because that's fucking crazy. They do that.
Yeah, and then
the
they
time.
use it. The Square Enix used everything. They said, "Fuck it." You know, we tried, we failed. Let's move on. They still reuse that. They use the story from that in A Realm Reborn. They just kind of say, "Hey, we have characters from that 1.0 moved over to 2.0, and we have story elements within it."
Do you know what I just realized? And this sounds really stupid of me for realizing this now because this has been out for years. Instead of fixing their game, they decided to release Classic because people actually enjoyed the game in Classic. And then they brought out Burning Crusade because people still enjoyed it during Burning Crusade. And I'm very interested to see if they go past Wrath of the Lich King.
They will.
They will. Yeah, but at that point, they might not even have us, like, it might not even be live anymore because people might not even be playing it at that point because we're looking at numbers that are getting, like, more people are playing Classic and Burning Crusade Classic than the actual game itself.
They should do like diverging timelines. Like, this is Classic, but this is Classic if we went this direction.
I would love that.
That would be great, actually. That'd be really
multiverse.
awesome.
Yeah, it's a multiverse.
Well,
the problem is they would never do it. Because they are too egotistical.
Well, yeah,
No, I agree.
Because like Burning Crusade worked because there was a bunch of different elements that were just great. Karazhan, one of the best raids. There was a freaking like actual like chess fight that you have to do as well where you get onto chess pieces, like a specific series that we're not going to talk about, but it's actually really cool. And then Wrath of the Lich King, the storyline just continued. Like it started in Burning Crusade with the zombies hitting the major cities to then the ending of Wrath of the Lich King, which was essentially the prime time, at least for me. And then and then Cataclysm. I would just love to see a multiverse where they just fix Cataclysm and then go from there. Yeah. Because pandas can still exist. I'm okay with pandas, but you're also not going to be seeing Cataclysm onward for at least another 5 to 6 years when it comes to Classic.
Oh, in 10 years, we're going to have fucking Shadowlands 2.0.
What's crazy, though, is that, like,
so I've been doing a lot what we're showing right now is actually the cinematic right after 1.0 went out. So this is the cutscene to 2.0.
Yeah,
that you get.
This is what you got, and then this is what plays when you start up. I believe the game, right?
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
From what I can tell, at least in terms of like small little research here and there, it seems like the big drop off was Miss Pandaria.
Yeah, it was 100% Miss Pandaria. Like, it was. The substance just wasn't there. Like, yeah, it was really exciting to see pandas, cool beans. They're adorable. I like them. They're cool. Yeah. But like, it was just the same shit but different skin. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it was just a matter of.
It was, from what I can tell, it was that the content wasn't there, especially after what preceded it, and then it was a lot of the multiplayer elements were added. So to find like a raid or to find a group of people, which sounds good now, because a lot of these games kind of do need that kind of like matchmaking system and stuff like that, which Mr. Pandaria, from what I can tell, and correct me if I'm wrong, added that kind of like find other people for a raid system or find other people for a dungeon system. And then people like the fan base, like the community kind of dropped from there because you didn't have to interact with people anymore. You had places that were bustling with people looking for other people to do dungeons and raids with, and those same places after Mrs. Pandaria were empty because you didn't have to have that interaction with players anymore. It kind of alienated your player base.
Well, yeah, what we used to have to do, and it's the same thing with Final Fantasy, is they have a queuing system, so you can queue up for dungeons, you can queue up for raids, and go that way. because it would be called like LFG and LFR, looking for group and looking for raid. And then that was introduced in like looking for group had always kind of existed in some capacity. It started really around Wrath of the Lich King. Yeah, what's up?
I'm laughing because while I know LFG stands for looking for game, every time I see it, I think it's let's fucking go.
It goes the same way. Yeah, it goes.
Yeah, I mean, let's fucking go.
Yeah,
let's fucking go.
Also, for people that are in chat right now, Mario. Okay, Mario was.
Let's fucking go.
Mario is auditioning for National Treasure 4 at the moment.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
That was his AFK screen, guys.
Yeah. It's gonna be starring Mario.
Mario.
He's replacing Nicolas Cage.
That's right.
I'd watch that movie.
There you go. No, it's just the substance just didn't feel like it was there, and that's why I left. Is because I was just like, okay, I'm currently doing dailies in an area and just flying around the same area again, and it was like a circular going, like it was like a clock. You would just kind of like go around in this circle to do all your dailies and then do it again and then do it again, and it just didn't really interest me after that. Yeah, I was excited for pandas, but then I was just like, this isn't keeping me into this game anymore. And at that point it was like 2013, so I just stopped playing.
We do have something that, so we can button this up now with the MMO stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to say that we do have something coming up for 4 Point in Progress that we're really, really excited about. The three of us have workshopped it, so we're gonna let everybody else know kind of like what our idea is, and we'll pitch it to you, to like Mario and Sly, and just kind of what we're gonna be doing with that side of it. But yeah.
Ooh,
One last thing. Final Fantasy is breaking its concurrent player records daily right now. Daily, they're breaking records. I
mean, when all of your freaking like all your servers, they don't allow you to make characters on them, then that's something right there. Yeah. Like there were people trying to play with us that couldn't get into the server that we were on.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad Asmund did not join our server, or else we would have some insane queue times.
Oh, I'm so happy.
He almost did.
He tried. His first one was Adamantoise, and he got blocked out of it.
He made a character, and they got blocked.
Yeah, I just want to say,
by the time Endwalker comes out, Dustin, they have to make server upgrades.
They're already starting.
What they'll do is what they did for the previous one is make instances for each of the zones, and then take it out once, because. When Stormblood came out and Shadowbringers came out, there were 3 instances for each of the zones that you could zone into randomly. Unless they're in the same party, then you all zone in the same one. But they took it out after about 2 months after the thing came out. She's about to sneeze. Were you about to sneeze?
Trying not to like open mouth yawn.
Oh, okay. But
wow. Well, apparently we're boring feet asleep.
No.
But yeah, no. I just want them to upgrade their servers and get ready for, because Endwalker is going to be stupid busy. It's going to be stupid busy.
Yeah. All right. I will say this before we continue. I've said this once before, and I'll say it again. People. Just remember that the devs that work at your favorite game studio are probably not the same devs you remember who made your favorite games. Instead, a lot of these people, we are old enough to now be fans of these games and working for those studios. Devs, I understand, everything's kind of changed, but remember, you may hate the people who made those games before you. But remember, people play those games because those people made those games great. And to shit on their legacy does not leave for a good future for the studio. On both sides. Remember, people, stop shitting on devs. Devs, stop shitting on people, because remember, those people will pay for your games. But yeah, our next article. Yeah.
Don't be an asshole.
Our next piece of news, and this came out of fucking nowhere, by the way, comes from The Verge's Jay Peters. Valve's gaming handheld is called the Steam Deck, and it's shipping in December.
Oh my god!
And you can pre-order it today.
This thing fucking came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I have an early copy of it right now, actually.
The Game Gear?
I actually, yeah, I have an early one right here. Valve sent it to me. They said, "Hey, can you test it for me?" And I was like, "Okay, cool." It came with a copy of fucking Sonic the Hedgehog, but I was
Oh
just
yeah,
I mean,
that's
Sega,
awesome.
I mean, Sega's just selling everything that they have, you know?
That is awesome.
Anybody
Yeah,
will
so
take
yeah,
Sega stuff.
I
Or they'll
have an
take it.
early Steam Deck here.
I love
it runs like shit.
Terminator
requires,
2,
like 40
so great.
batteries.
So
Yeah, it
what's
does
the
take-
what's the controversy with the actual size thing with it? Because was there another model
It's
that got announced?
It's a pound and something, right? It's
No.
like-
I
so-
mean the internal storage. The
So
internal
here
storage.
we'll get to that right now. So yeah, so the Steam Deck, Valve's producing it. They produced it in house. Not produced it, but like they designed it in house and stuff like that. This is for the most part their handheld. It features an AMD APU, which is basically just a CPU with a GPU like built into it. AMD's been doing insanely good with these things. A lot of these computers that are coming out have AMD's APU built into it, which, if I remember correctly, you can play Forza, like the newest Forza that's out right now, up to at least 50 FPS on integrated graphics, which is insane. You don't need a graphics card. This is all in the CPU built in, which is why you're seeing a lot of these smaller form factor stuff come out, like tablets and laptops, and of course the Steam Deck itself. It starts at $399 with a 64 gigabyte eMMC version, which I couldn't really figure out what eMMC and SSD differences are, but apparently it's still flash memory, so it's kind of an SSD, but not really.
Yeah, it's just another like a brand of SSD, pretty much.
Yeah, it's not as fast as a standard SSD, but it's still technically an SSD.
Probably for cost purposes they went with that one.
Oh yeah, definitely cost purposes. Comes with a 256 gigabyte SSD for $529, 512 gigabyte SSD for $649. These are NVMe SSDs, so these are actually pretty good SSDs. It can be connected to a TV or monitor. It runs a new version of SteamOS, but apparently, reportedly, you can actually flash Windows onto the thing. So you can actually just have a like a Windows, tablet, and just load anything onto it if you want to. It has native Bluetooth audio, which
Nice.
the Switch doesn't for some reason still, even with its OLED version.
Yeah.
And I think this thing is absolutely insane because right now it's hard to get a console. It's hard to get a computer. It's hard to get anything right now. And this comes in at under a PlayStation 5 and under an Xbox Series X. And if you can stream on it and you can play games natively on it, it's a damn good deal. It's an insane deal.
It also looks pretty sexy, I have to say.
Yeah,
I
the
like
controller placement. It seems like it's comfortable from what people are saying.
I don't mind. I don't mind the parallel joysticks because like I've been playing PlayStation for a long time, so like I like that kind of stuff. This thing looks cool.
I had reservations about it because the way that it looks, right? It has the joysticks and then the buttons like placement, like almost feeling like it's parallel, which normally I would think was odd, but it has switches on the back of it. Very much like the Elite controller. So you can, those are programmable, I assume. So that way you can use it for those different functions that you normally would put for that. So your fingers never really could leave the sticks if it's possible. But yeah, I find this thing fascinating because, with money on the paper, this is something that I probably should invest in only because my library fucking insane how many games I have on there. So it's like all of the games that I've had just sitting there waiting for me. Yeah, look at this sexy thing on stream. Some of these games I just did not even play. Now I have an excuse to just try this thing out because I have so many games already built in.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
I'm gonna go grab my food. I'll be right back.
Okay, that's what Dustin's saying. It's like it's universally cumbersome, but like this, and plus this thing, like so the main problem that I had with the Wii U gamepad was the fact that it was a Fisher Price toy. In the end, it was a Fisher Price toy.
100%.
Like you could get like your kid could like look like just like throw it on the ground, it'll just shatter in like 50 different pieces. This is a hefty thing. It's like what, 2 pounds or something like that? 3 pounds?
It's heavy. It's heavy from what I understand.
Yeah. So like it looks like it's got good heft to it. I like the 2 back buttons. That is freaking awesome. Because I feel like every controller should have back buttons now. And like Yeah, I don't know about the pads at the
Agreed.
front. I don't know about the
Are
pads.
those
at the
touch?
front.
Are those touch screens? Is that what that is? Is it a touch thing?
I don't know.
Touch. Imagine they are.
Touch pads. Yeah.
Or
but
even more, capacitive buttons. I don't know.
the
I have no
the
idea.
only thing that for me is the downfall is the size of the actual SSD inside. That's where I have the biggest problem with.
How big is it?
The base model is
64.
64 gigs, which is barely a game. Maybe one game.
Yeah.
It
Unless you're an indie
depends
fan.
on what kind of games you're playing.
I mean,
If you're
but,
an indie, if
like,
you're an indie
If you're
person,
looking if you're looking at Control, that's literally 100 gigs. That's an
Yeah.
100 gig game. What the hell are you gonna do to try to play Control on your?
my entire Steam library is basically indie games. So
Oh, yeah,
like,
racing
I mean,
games are
also
perfect.
Doom.
that's fine.
well, the other thing you can do
but
on there. Is,
I get real games.
no, of course.
Real
Well,
big games. For
So you can also stream to it. So that's an option. I mean, it's interesting because I see this as an option of like, oh, I could take my games on the go, but realistically, I just play my games handheld, sitting in my bed. So it's like to give me that option, I could just stream it straight from one thing to another. I mean, that's to me kind of interesting. And it's almost like taking a mobile computer to your friend's house, so you can all connect to it.
I'm trying to figure that out right now, Dustin. if the storage is removable, so you can add
It is
more
not
storage.
removable.
So it's
you can
integrated.
you can add a memory card in.
Okay.
you-
So you can put more SSD.
You can do a
or
micro
micro
SD. Yes.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I did see that. I mean, to be honest with you, and I'm looking at the pricing. I mean, where you're showing, I believe this is the Canadian pricing.
This is
Yes.
Canadian. This is Canadian.
I mean, when I looked at the Canadian, or even looking at this, I mean, this is no different than iPhone, right? iPhone sells at 64, 128, or 256 now is actually their second standard, and then 512. There's the highest one. So, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
This to me is just a standard when it comes. I'm shocked that actually Switch doesn't have these options. That they
Me
don't
too,
have more
honestly.
tiers.
Fast storage.
you think Nintendo's gonna do something practical?
Right?
But Shotgun, when you were saying like the thumb placement, but I feel like that's the difference between like I guess an Xbox controller and a PS controller, like a PlayStation controller, where I don't mind them being at the top instead of offset.
Yeah.
Right. I don't mind the
And
parallel
for
one.
me, it was the fact that they're like this, but right next to it is D-pad and buttons. That to me is the weird part. But like I said, if the buttons in the back there can supplement for that, then I think that's okay.
If you could just remap the D-pad buttons to the back, depending on what you need to do, you're golden after that, right?
Yeah. Hopefully, 4 inputs, right?
Exactly, because that's kind of like what I do for my Pro controller, my Elite controller.
Yeah.
I just program the back buttons as like something that I need extra for. So, no, this thing came out of nowhere.
No, I
really
I think this definitely got announced at one point, but I forgot about it.
Yeah. Oh, I don't. Yeah, I did not expect that.
Totally forgot about it. It was not even on my radar until I saw it. I was like, because I saw it on the IGN video, because they have the IGN first there, and them running through questions about it, I'm like, this looks not real. Like the fact that they have a PC device that you can just carry like that, like it's pretty crazy. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, it's pretty hefty too, and that makes sense. It's gonna need to be a big chunker.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, again, the proposition of me being able to play, like I pulled up my Steam account, like I'm trying to see how many games are here, but it's like over 400. So it's like, I could have hours and hours of use of this thing.
Oh yeah, easily.
Realistically, do you think y'all are gonna pre-order it?
Not pre-order.
No,
I'll
I'm not gonna
probably wait.
pre-order. Yeah, I'm gonna wait.
Yeah,
this is something like I barely even use my Switch. Like
I might wait
it
till
sits
Gen
there.
2.
But
I might wait till Gen 2.
This thing gives you a little bit more of like an incentive to buy it because I have Steam and I play games on Steam. I legit play games on Steam all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't play anything on my Switch. My Switch just sits there.
I did pick up
So-
Skyward Sword. I'm very excited to play that. But yeah.
I mean, Skyward Sword. Yeah, I do not like the game, but Skyward, like, it's cool that people can actually play that game now,
Not a controller.
and especially with a controller now. 'Cause, oh my god,
yeah.
that game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited to try that.
What
But
did I miss?
yeah. No, we're just still talking about it. Like generally, what are your thoughts on it, Frank? Like,
I don't like the control scheme. The problem with that is
Hang on one
just
second.
because when you have to, I don't know how to better explain it. When you have to do this with your fingers, it leads to hand cramps right here, right? So when you're holding a controller up here and trying to like have everything kind of like pushed up there, it doesn't feel good. I have the same problem with the Switch. It's just the controls are too high. They need to be lowered a little bit. Your thumb should be down here, not all the way up here. But as long as they do a good like back hump, which is like that little side there, it'll be as good as the Wii U tablet, because the Wii U tablet feels good in the hand.
Yeah, that's what Dustin was talking about. Like, it feels good, but it just feels like a Fisher Price toy.
Oh yeah, it feels terrible like in terms of construction, but in terms of like holding it and everything like that, because it uses that kind of like Wii, like original Wii kind of like handle.
Yeah.
It feels so good in the hand. And as long as Valve does something similar, it'll feel good in the hand, hopefully.
Yeah, and it's heavy, it's hefty, right? So that's I think that's what's going to be a big factor for it as well.
I'll probably pick one up, mainly just because if you can actually load Windows on this thing, I would like it for like a little kind of just small little Windows tablet I could just kind of carry around with me everywhere I go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can plug it into a TV. So like if you're out and about and if you're just like kind of like, you know, going around, let's say you're like someone who travels or goes to like hotels or something like that. You basically kind of have a mini gaming laptop with you at all times. But instead, this gaming laptop, you can kind of just, you can control. You can play it on the bus, you can play it on the plane, you can play it anywhere. No. And at $400, that's an insane value that you're getting, especially because you're getting a decent AMD APU. You're getting may not be the best SSD in the world, but you're getting an SSD, a screen, controls. I just hope Valve takes care of this as much as they've taken care of the Valve Index, because the Index did not have the best of launches in terms of just controllers and stuff like that. And we all know what happened to the Steam Link and the Steam controller. They basically got
Steam boxes. Remember Steam boxes?
Yep,
oh my
Steam
God.
boxes.
It all, I guess, if it's still in the semiconductor realm, we're still going to see a shortage of it probably. If it's got that same thing, we're going to see shortages of this thing. It's going to be hard to get your hands on one of these things.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be as crazy as like 3070s or anything like that, but we'll definitely see some shortages of these things. Yeah. But in terms of just like overall value, it's an insane value. You're getting a lot. A lot of people like to talk shit on consoles and say, look, I can make a PC for like $400, $500 and it'll be better than a console. And they forget that you're not factoring in the cost of a controller.
And a game.
Because no matter what, you can probably build a PC for like $400, $500 that'll be comparable to like a Series S. But you have to remember, Series S comes with a $60 controller. You know what I mean? And this has everything kind of built in. USB-C ports, it has fans on it, it just has everything you kind of need for a mobile console. This right here is what the Switch should have been. This is what the Switch Pro it should have been.
The fact that this can play Forza at like a good solid 50 frames is huge. Yeah. When a Switch can't play Zelda at 720p 30 FPS.
Yeah. It may not have an OLED
3060.
screen. Goddamn, I'd rather have
2060.
Yeah, I'd rather play games at least 30. You know what I mean? If you're gonna have a console like that, but that's 1080p 30 at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm actually kind of excited for this. I'm gonna keep my ear to the ground on it. I'm not gonna pre-order it, mainly just because I know Valve's track record with pre-ordered items. Yeah. It's not necessarily that you pre-order it and you're gonna get it on that day. You're gonna be put into a wait list and you're gonna get it whenever you fucking get it.
Yeah, I said I'm opting for Gen 2. I think if they do a Gen 2 of this, I might get into it.
Yeah, I would like a little bit of a bigger screen. Does this? I didn't actually check this up. Does it have a touchscreen on it, or is it just?
I think it is a touchscreen, but there's those two like boxes in the center that I'm not sure if those are buttons or what. But I don't know. It does. I know that if you buy the more expensive version, you get a capacity like a screen that like is anti-glare. So you got that if you pay for the more expensive one.
Yeah, but that's basically it. I'm gonna probably buy it, use it as a window.
Yeah,
flash the shit out of it.
It's got a 7-inch touchscreen.
It's a touchscreen. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, that it's got everything you kind of need.
It's got 2 mic jacks on it as well.
What?
Yeah.
So that's actually pretty cool.
So this is what I'm looking at right now. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at for this right here.
You don't have a confident screen up.
I do.
That
It's
kid's
in Twitch.
really
It's in
looking-
Twitch.
Oh yeah. Sorry. So this is kind of what I'm looking at right now. So this is all like the,
Noise canceling for 2 microphones. Interesting.
and then this
Yeah.
is the headphone jack. Oh, this is the Type C. Okay, so these are the Type C's, and this is the headphone jack.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
volume.
like you could probably even like there's so much versatility in something like in an item like this. And again, this isn't the first time this has been introduced. There have been many other people as everybody on Twitter is starting to say like this isn't the first time. It definitely isn't the first time, but it's the first time a big company like Valve have jumped into that mobile PC Switch kind of looking thing market, and for a company like as big as Valve, who make VR headsets and have Steam, you know what I mean, like a big marketplace, this is a big deal. It's kind of like it's almost on the same level as if Microsoft made one, you know what I mean, because they have their own marketplace. Steam has their own marketplace. Steam has millions of players.
Hey, you probably can run Game Pass on this.
You can,
which is incredible.
Confirmed.
There's that, and I mean one other thing. Can I run Fortnite on it? That's all I want to know.
If it can run
Probably.
Forza, it can run Fortnite. If your phone can run Fortnite,
I guess
can I get the
Fortnite
quick
on your
browser?
freaking
No,
phone?
but
They get the
no. If it runs Windows, maybe you can just install Epic Game Store on there, and you can run it
so
that
that's-
way.
That's
Yeah.
the only way.
yeah, there's been articles coming out. You can run Epic Game Store. You can do Game Pass on it.
Stadia?
I imagine if
Probably.
you can load Windows on it, you can probably load Stadia on it. Which is why I
True.
was saying earlier, like even if this thing isn't as powerful as it is, you can still stream games on it. Like Game
Yeah.
Pass, Stadia, all that. No matter what, like this thing is a beast in
I will
terms
be
of
right back.
streaming and everything like that.
Yeah.
But other than that, we should probably move on.
Yeah.
Well, since Fee's not here, I'm just gonna Gatling gun through these last few articles. Bethesda's Ghostwire has been delayed to 2022. This comes from Collider's Lacey Wong. I did not
Is
see that
anybody
coming.
shocked?
I'm disappointed. My day is ruined.
Suck it, Sony.
RIP.
Take your
RIP
time, man.
Sony.
Take your time. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, take your time.
You should have fired that cute girl. All right, it's because you fired that cute girl. That's why it's delayed.
Damn.
What cute girl?
The one that like made this game super popular in the first place. Nier Automata is getting a Steam update. This
Yay!
comes from PC Gamer's Molly Taylor. If you haven't played Nier Automata on Steam, it is a dog shit experience unless you mod the shit out of it. You know what I mean? There is a good mod out there, and kudos to whoever created that mod. You are a fucking god, because I would never have been able to play the game on PC without you. But it seems like they're finally starting to update it. It's going to get 4K, it's going to get standard PC stuff that should have already been there in the first place. You're going to be able to change resolutions and stuff like that.
Play this game.
Yeah, there is no excuse now not to play this game on Steam.
This is gonna make me play this game.
It's going to be good.
It's one of the best soundtracks I've heard ever in my life. Such
Buy
a
it,
great
play
game.
it, fix it, break it.
Do it. Format it.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, wait till the
Oh.
Final Fantasy 14 Nier raids when we get to that point. Oh my
dude,
god!
Oh, that sounds
There's
awesome.
new raids in Final Fantasy. There's
That's
Nier
awesome.
Automata raids there, and it has
That's
the music
cool.
and shit.
That's awesome.
From what Harv told me, I haven't seen it yet. Christopher Judge was announced as Black Panther's voice actor in Avengers. This comes from Polygon's Ryan Gilliam. I'm excited.
Hey
Christopher Judge has
Mario,
an
are
amazing
you
voice.
still playing Avengers? Because
I will. I will.
Okay.
When this drops, I'll play it.
Avengers.
Hell yeah! I gave 4 people games, so we all should play it.
Yeah, no,
I
have
wasn't
it-
one of them.
No, Mario, I have it installed. I installed it. I
have
opened
installed
it
too.
up. I took a look at it. I made sure that the video settings were good, and then I played Final Fantasy.
Got him.
Got him.
God damn it!
Apparently, Netflix is. This comes from Netflix themselves. Netflix is getting into the games empire.
Yeah, they had that press conference or whatever during E3 week, whatever.
Geek Week.
It's fine. All right.
What suggestion? This again, and if this happens, Netflix, you owe me money. But I will give you a suggestion: start selling little USB sticks with Netflix on it, but that also has Xbox's Game Pass on it. So you can do both, and then have Game Pass like games available through the Netflix browser, and it will sell like hotcakes, and everybody will love you.
Well, right now the
I know
rumor
that.
right now is Netflix is partnering with Sony with something.
Ooh,
So I don't know what that.
maybe a Ghost of Tsushima movie / anime or something like that. I don't know,
I'd be
or
here
Last
for
of Us
that.
anime.
Boy.
And then the last piece of news is that Cracked, and this is pirated for the uninitiated. RE8 runs exponentially better than purchased copies.
Oh my
Capcom
God.
is issuing effects to fix this.
Shocker.
So if for the uninitiated, if you don't know, DRM is good for developers because it makes it very hard for people to crack your game and play it for free. It's basically like an always online authenticator that's constantly in the background that's making sure that your game is authentic. Almost every game on Steam uses it. It's very rare that the games don't, but apparently RE8 is being very much bogged down by this DRM because it could use a lot of resources, and Capcom is now issuing a patch to fix this. More than likely, they're probably going to turn off the DRM because it's already been cracked. There's no point in having the DRM in the fucking first place.
The DRM is the main thing. It's one of the main reasons why you get a lot of FPS loss and a lot of problems with your game is DRM.
So it runs perfectly on PS5.
There's a form of DRM on there, but it's not as crazy.
Yeah.
And that's it for the news this week, guys. There is a free subscription update.
Subscription game.
Is there a free subscription update?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels like what?
She's like, I declined to talk right now.
Great question. Now, I heard that Epic had a game coming out this week for free, so I'm just currently going to take a sip here. Cool.
Slurp, slurp, slurp.
Wow. Man, I'm so happy my computer runs super fast and I totally have this downloaded.
While we're waiting for Fee on that, Dimebag says Christopher Judge has to drop boy at least once. And
Yes.
I agree. If
agree.
Black Panther doesn't say boy at least once, I don't know what.
My boy.
Boy.
Cool. So they this week on Epic for free games they have Off-World Trading Company, Save Humanity, Turn a Profit, preferably both. It is a space trading game, which seems pretty interesting. And then there's Abduction from the creators of Myst is currently free this week as well. A sci-fi adventure from Cyan, the creators of Myst. Abducted far across the universe, you find yourself on a broken alien landscape with odd pieces of Earth. Explore, uncover, solve, and find a way to make it home. Those are the two games that you can get for free this week.
For space trading.
Yeah,
you go.
so yeah, it's Abduction as well as Off-World Trading Company. All you need to do is download Epic and you get free games. It's I
Good
guess you
deal.
also have to create an account.
I still don't like the
Alright,
Epic Game
okay.
Store for the stuff it does in the background, but hey, you got to respect them for giving out a lot of free games.
They give out free games every single week,
Yeah.
which is absolutely mind-boggling to me.
Bonkers.
It's bonkers. All you need to do is make sure that you claim them to be able to get them, because like right now Off-World Trading Company is $32.99, and then let's see how much.
Nobody wants to pay that.
Abduction, $32.99 Canadian, which is $2 American. I'm just joking. It's probably about $29 American. No, it's honestly, I think it's a really cool system. I know that Epic does some pretty not so great things, but the free games is definitely appreciated.
You know what's my grievance with Epic right now? Is that they're making me wait 60 days to get Superman off this new Battle Pass for no reason.
Oof.
It's not cool. All right.
Really, that's your
Disrespect.
problem, not the mining of your data every day.
Current problems. I can't get Superman. Now it's been a month, so I have to wait 27 days to get my Superman skin.
Yeah, can't
This
confirm
bullshit.
it.
Take the mining my data. I just will not stand for
I will buy the
lack of
skin.
Superman skin.
I will buy the skin. Just give me the skin.
They're waiting to get $29 worth of data off you before they release it.
Listen, I bought all of the Batman skins, so you can't hold on. You can't rob me of that. All right. Give me my Superman skin. That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
All right.
that's it for the
with
news.
that, we're wrapping up the patch notes. And for our special edition episode 20 to celebrate all of y'all for supporting us. Our third segment this week is just going to be listener questions. We have quite a few in here, a couple from chat we're going to start out with. Kate asks, which Sims is your favorite and why? 1, 2, or 3, or 4?
3.
2.
4 is weird.
2 is because I grew up with 2 when I was.
Yeah, I grew up with
Same.
2.
Yeah.
I grew up with the herbs. That's the one I like. Yeah, that's mine. The urban one. That's mine.
With the black eyed peas. I think it was literally black eyed peas focus.
Black eyed peas, yeah.
Game Boy.
Yeah, I had it on original Xbox, and me and my sister would play it all the time. We just had a blast playing it.
Yeah.
No,
2
like,
is Kate's favorite. Yeah, 2 is because I remember looking up codes to like get unlimited money and just try to make the craziest house that I possibly could.
I don't think anybody likes 4, from what I hear. It's like again,
a lot of people do. 4.
Yeah. It's still
we run into the same problem of DRM being an issue with 4, from what I hear.
I don't know.
Like,
I know some people who stream it, like just stream like Sims 4.
Yeah,
mind you, that doesn't.
It seems like it's for the building and not for the actual game itself.
Yeah,
it's just like building the house and like trying to like kind of mess around with the house.
My favorite thing that's come from 4 has been the giant bomb feature that they did, which was they basically brought every person that worked at Giant Bomb, made them live in a house, and found creative ways to kill them. And they had like put all like the different ways to kill them in a hat, and he had to actually perform it in the show, and it was really funny.
Well, no, I really enjoyed it when they had when BuzzFeed was actually semi-decent. They had like the Try Guys and the guys from Unsolved doing a series where they were trying to kill each other. Technically, it was supposed for them to just build a house and not try to kill each other. But of course, the Spooky Boys had to find ways to try to kill each other. And then Keith went on, who is one of the guys from Try Guys, and then he made something. It was an absolute like shit show, but in the best of ways possible. Yeah, the Spooky Boys are terrifying and great series. But either way, 2 is probably my favorite because that's what I played. Mind you, I've just never been a massive Sims fan. Like I enjoyed the like house building portion of it, but just like I don't know, I played other games like Nancy Drew at that time period and like Lego Harry Potter that kept me more occupied than The Sims did. So
Lego Harry Potter fucking slaps.
Hell yeah.
Exactly.
So good.
Yeah.
Right. Mario, do you want to read the next question?
Yeah, I got it right here. Let's see. Oh, so Nardog has a couple questions. You know what? I'm going to answer all of them. Nardog BTW, question 1. How are you today? How is everybody? Starting with Cyclone.
Tired, but good.
Okay.
I'm
Fee?
here with you all. So lovely.
Oh, thank you. Fee?
It was good. My day was I don't know. You know what? I'm okay. Yeah.
Okay. Frank, how about you?
I have a pineapple mango smoothie shake from McDonald's. Tastes pretty good.
I didn't even know that was a thing at McDonald's. Okay. That's interesting.
But wait, that's a smoothie and you put whipped cream on top of it?
Maybe
I was wondering. So here's
I'm
the
not
weird thing.
drinking
It was an option, right? And I was wondering. I was like, I wonder how that would taste with whipped cream on it. And you can't really taste the whipped cream anyway. So
it's not. Why would you? No.
This just sounds like residuals of last week. I don't want to hear it.
It was
Anyways,
like 20 cents extra. So I was like, fuck it. Why not?
Frank, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Playing a lot of Final Fantasy and yeah, that's basically it.
All right, cool. Harv, what are you up to? How are you feeling? How are you today, Harv?
I'm doing well. It's Friday.
Oh hell yeah.
And I'm fucking miserable because I had to help an old lady who thought she switched to AT&T, but she really didn't, and she doesn't know her lock code. So that's my day. Anyways,
Oof.
I love it.
Love it.
I'm
Question
so glad I don't work
two.
there anymore.
Question 2 is: will the progress bar ever move?
It
just
did.
did.
Yes.
It just fucking moved.
Yeah.
All right.
Like I said, you got to put your finger on the screen and wait. If you don't wait, it'll
That's
never
right.
happen.
That's right. Between segments, it definitely moves. Okay. Third question: is Harv wearing pineapples? Is he wearing pineapples? He's in fact
Yes,
wearing pineapples.
yes.
Because if so, we are pineapple brothers today. Oh, ain't you cute? Look at you two.
It's like being blood brothers, but with pineapples.
Yeah, it's like being Eskimo brothers, but not. Okay. That's the end of the question. So, Slime, you want to pick the next person?
All right, Frank, do you want to read the next question?
Yes. It's gonna be weird because
how many monitors do you have?
I have to
Because it
pull it
looks
up on
like
my-
you're in the
Three?
Matrix.
I have to pull it up on my third one here, really.
I did it, by the way. That's the one that you need.
Yeah, I highlighted
so, this comes from the good sir. Since we're halfway through the year, wondering what your current game of the year is and why it does seem like everyone's going to answer Final Fantasy 14.
Nope.
Nope. And what are your most anticipated games for the rest of 2021? So I will say this right now, I do really, really like Final Fantasy 14. I really, really do. I wouldn't play it if I didn't enjoy it. However, it's not my game of the year right now. But I will we will start with Sly here. Sly, current game of the year.
I mean,
what are you anticipated
I
for?
said at the top of the episode, Fossil Corner's currently really doing it for me.
Okay, Fossil
Okay.
Corners. And what are you anticipated for the rest of the year?
I am currently trying to pull up my Steam wish list because I have a million indie games and I don't know which one I'm most anticipating yet. So come back to me.
Fee, what game of the year and anticipation for 2021?
Pyro is my 2021 game of the year, hands down. I think it is a phenomenal game and did really well. And honestly, is something I've been really excited I want to get back into it because I haven't played it as of late. Things that I'm anticipating this year, very good question. One is Chinatown Detective Agency. It was a demo that I played during E3 week. Honestly, fantastic game, and can't wait to jump into it later on this summer. Lakes is another one that I'm very excited for. It is a game where you are working as a postman while your parents are away on vacation for 2 weeks. And then at the end, you need to figure out if you go back to corporate America or if you stay in the lovely, picturesque town, which is something I'm very excited for to continue playing. There's just a lot. A majority of them are a lot of indies. I will admit another one I'm excited for is Stray, and I was concerned that I wouldn't be able to play it because I thought it was a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Haha, it's not, suckers. I'm gonna just play it on PC. So yeah, those are my games. Majority of them are indies.
You didn't say Coral Island.
I mean, Coral Island is definitely up there as well. Mind you, gonna be honest, first play second, I completely forgot about it. But yeah, no, I'm excited for Coral Island as well. That's another game I'm really excited for.
Beer and breakfast.
Oh my god. See? Okay,
yeah.
this entire section could be what Fee is excited for this year,
Yeah.
which is I can make an entire show, which is just Fee's what is it? Feeticipation, which is all my what I'm excited for.
Basically, your answer is check back later. You'll post a doc with all the games on your wish list.
Exactly. There is well over 200 right now that are currently on my wish list. So good luck, my friends.
Goddamn. Harv,
All right.
game of the year, and what do you anticipated for?
My game of the year so far is It Takes Two. That is my favorite game of this year so far.
Oh, yeah.
This game is really, really
Okay.
freaking good. I played with Kate. It was so much fun going through that game and trying to play the mini games and trying to just get that. That story was really good too. It was a really, really good story. It kind of is flimsy at the end of it, honestly. The story kind of okay. You know what? Everything is fine apparently. But yeah. So that's my game of the year. What I'm looking forward to is for this year Horizon, because I'm hoping I know we don't have a date yet, but I'm hoping that it comes out this year because I think so far everything is pointing at it coming out this year from what their development is and all that kind of stuff. So I know.
If they didn't show that showcase, then I'd probably been like, yeah, there's no way this is not coming out this year. But they showed it. I have some faith in it. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, and then I was gonna say Elden Ring. I know that's in January, but it's close enough.
Close enough. Yeah, the same shit. Same shit, different day.
Great.
Mario?
Game of the year. Honestly, there hasn't been a lot of stuff that has come out this year that really like grabbed me other than two things. Loop Hero is still the game that I think about and I want to go back to and I want to finish because I'm very close. I'm in the middle of beating the third boss, I think. And Knockout City really took me by storm and I still think about it and I still want to play and I still want to get this squad going for us to play because I really believe in that game. That game's a lot of fun and I really want them to they're putting a lot of love in terms of their seasons, or at least their like little event things that are really cool. So definitely super into Knockout City. When it comes to like what am I most anticipating, 12 minutes is the first thing that pops in my head. 12 minutes has been something I've been looking at for years now, and I really can't wait to experience that. Horizon's another one. Horizon's definitely another one. But I will say Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is a game that I really want to play. So
yeah.
All right. And then my games this year, Loop Hero is still my game of the year so far. I it's weird because that game just has so much love put into it. And every time I open it up and play it, you always find something new. And there's probably still thousands of things people haven't discovered in that game. I would love to see more of it. I would love to play more of it. Anticipated game is definitely going to be probably Chinatown Detective Agency. When I played it with Fee, I had a lot of fun. I like the idea of what they're going with. I like the meta aspect that they're using with, like, you know, you have to look things up on an actual browser in order to do a lot of the things there. You actually kind of have to do some detective work, which you don't see in a lot of games in that genre.
And a lot of it was just like him and I yelling, like, where's a stamp? And what specific era is this from in China? Like, what city is this? Because like some of these cities don't have the same names as they do now, so you have to like figure out like, okay, it's like 1840, so this particular area in China was named X, Y, and Z, and so you have to specifically take that and then realize like, okay, so why, like, what, this is a particular city, so what was the name of that city during this time when the stamp was used? And you're like, shit, okay, this is not easy.
Yeah, so you have to go through like auction houses. Like I had to go through an auction house website to find one of these stamps, and like it took a while because
a real auction house
website. I had to find a stamp that was sold like 20 years ago just to find the date, so then I could, and the date and the name, so then I can go back and find where the fuck the stamp even came from in the first place. It's a really cool idea. I really hope that the rest of the game has those really fun meta detective kind of things, because stuff like that is what really kind of immerses you into a game, and I think it's a really cool idea. And then of course I'm excited for Halo, because who isn't excited for Halo? If you're a Halo fan, we're finally getting another Halo. We get to find out if A, we're going to get Halo 5, or B, if we're going to get Halo 4 but better.
Probably
I hope it's either one or the other. And I will say this right off the bat, 343, you cannot fuck this up. If you have to take another year, go ahead, but like you cannot fuck this up. You can't, like, this is your third try on Halo.
Take your time. It's not like my show depends on it. Take your time.
Your first try on Halo was okay with 4. Your second try with 5 was terrible, and
it's not terrible. The multiplayer was great. Everything else shit.
The multiplayer is okay. The multiplayer is not Halo. But yeah, you really have to prove yourself here. And yeah, those. I mean, at least in 2021, if I'm still excited for anything else, it's probably Splinter Cell, but that's never coming out. So, thank you, the good sir, for your question. Appreciate it.
Did you finally get something?
I just want to add.
Oh
yeah, my two most anticipated right now is Unpacking, which I fell in love with at the first PAX Online. They had a demo for it. I'm really excited, hoping that comes out this year. And then the game Letters looks so good. I'm so excited. Those are probably my two most anticipated.
Nice.
All right, let's hop down to the next question. Harv, do you want to take this one away?
Go to the next person. I don't have it open right now, so that's because the volume.
I'll answer this one. Let me answer this one because it says a few things I can answer.
Okay.
So Golden Sunshine Gaming asked, "What is the streaming schedule?" Well, what is the streaming schedule, guys?
Fridays.
We'll see.
Fridays for right now, but in terms of anything else, we still haven't really got.
It's been sporadic. Yeah, honestly, most of it is because the obsession is Final Fantasy and everyone's having a good time with that. We'll think of something more concrete.
I'm trying to stream. I'm trying to stream at least once.
Twitter.
Yeah, I'm trying to stream at least once on Point in Progress while we're playing and stuff like that. Since we are all together, but there is some stuff I wanna try to like.
Yeah,
fix
I would love
when it comes to that.
Well, we should have eventually we'll have a all hands on meeting and we'll talk about this in the future. But until then, stay tuned and join us every Friday as we do our podcast live, and then they play games afterwards, or we play games, depending on what it is.
Yeah,
streaming live is still relatively new for us in terms of Point in Progress.
absolutely.
Yeah. And 2, do you plan to post your podcast to Spotify? As far as I'm concerned, we are on Spotify.
We are on Spotify.
We're already there. You had one job, you get fucked up because you didn't look. All right.
Don't say that. Oh my goodness. Oh my God.
Before you ask hold on. No, I'm going. Hold on. I'm going full Greg Miller. If you have to ask the question and you don't look to find the answer
of Point in Progress, this man's opinions are his own.
I'm kidding. I love you.
This is why you were jailed.
You gotta find the map to kick me out of there. Yes.
The map to unlock your Twitter.
But yes,
also,
I think
hashtag free Mario.
Hashtag free Mario. Thank you. Yes, we should be on Spotify. So if you want to find us, it should be at Spotify. Point in Progress, and Halo Forever is there too. Okay, and number 3. Do you guys like working with each other?
No. I fucking hate all of these people.
No.
Absolutely not.
I come here for a paycheck.
Yeah.
Paycheck? You get paid?
Paid?
The 60 cents
Hold
we
on.
make per month.
Do I gotta rant again? There's no way.
The 60 cents we make per month.
The 60 cents per
Hey,
month,
I mean, the PayPal is under my shit. I'm just kidding.
Right? Harv,
Hey, we're fucking
embezzling from the account for years.
damn. We've been in the negative for a while. No. The answer is we like working with each other when we have time and get together and collaborate, and I think that's the most fun. Obviously, this is the time which we are all together collectively, and yeah, this is us at our most heightened level. But I say that when it comes to like working and making decisions, yes, there's times where we still can rip each other's throats out, but it's out of love. That's all I'll say. Yeah.
I wouldn't hang out with these people every day if I didn't like them.
Not at all. Yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
So that's that. Hold on. Question 4. You had a lot of questions, my friend. And are you guys going to have guests on your podcast?
We've had guests.
We've had yes.
We had one.
We had
2, didn't we?
A guest. Do we have 2?
Oh, one was during the live stream. One was just during a live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. We had
and then all the 6-1 Indies
Yes, so we've had stuff where we've done in our videos for E3. We've had 6-1 Indie swap on over. We actually had a podcast that we released as one of our episodes with 6-1 Indie. So yeah, so theoretically, guests have already happened. But yeah, there'll be times where one of us might take the week off and then we'll have a guest on. So by all means, why not?
Hey Frank, blink twice.
You can't see it off screen.
Right.
There's a shotgun being pointed at me right now.
By Mario.
Yeah,
right.
That is the end of that question. So
Yes. Wait, I will say this.
Do you want to take away the?
wait,
One more
Frank?
thing before on the guest thing.
Yeah.
I have been kind of workshopping ideas with people about with these guys about like how we're gonna do guest things. Guest things are happening. It's gonna happen. It's just we're trying to figure out a good way to do it.
Yes. And it might be on other projects too, like Point in Progress or PiP Chat or Point in Conversation.
Yeah.
So those
because there's
hopefully
5
places.
of us here. The problem is there's 5 of us here, and having a 6th person on here, we've tried it with 5, and it could get hectic. I can only imagine what a 6th person can bring.
Yes.
So we're trying to find a way to make it so then we can it's just done well. That's the only reason why we haven't done it yet.
That's really it. Yeah.
Okay. Next, it's from Spencer. Superheroes. There have been a lot of types of superhero shows over the years. I want to know, from Marvel and the X-Men to DC, Justice League, Amazon Z, Boys, and Invincible, what superpower would you have and what universe would you be in? So I'm going to start off by asking Sly, our resident MCU expert currently, what would you specifically want to, like, what specific power and what universe would you want to be in?
All right. Well, I just want to clear up the joke about me being the resident MCU expert. I've been a DC fan all of my life since I was a wee bab. I was super into DC comics, animated movies, everything. And I just started getting into the MCU a couple months ago, and somehow I'm the most caught up. With that being said, my superpower I've always wanted all my life is to be able to breathe underwater. I grew up swimming. I grew up on lakes. I love being in the water. If I could breathe underwater, that would be optimal. As far as universes, all of them kind of suck. Like there's no good options. But you know, I think I have to stick with my roots. I would love to be in the DC universe, hang out in Atlantis, you know, chilling. I think that would be my answer.
I mean, you're not wrong. Any universe you go to, you end up dead regardless at some point.
Exactly.
Unless you're like a really cool character, then you get to stay. But like Frank Castle outlived everybody in one of the universes, so anything's possible.
I'm Frank. What superpower and what?
I will go with a Deadpool level healing factor.
Okay.
Because that man could literally kind of just live forever, and if he loses a head, he just grows back a body. So that's I would like that. You know what I mean? Because I could just technically do whatever I want. You know what I mean? You could always get better, but you can't die, which is actually kind of cool. In terms of what universe I would be in, it'd probably be DC because DC has hotter characters.
True.
Is that wrong?
You know what I mean? I'd like to hang out
Seen those women?
I'd like to hang Catwoman, Poison Ivy, Punchline, Starfire, Raven, like all these hot ass characters, and then you got Marvel over here, and it's just like, no, I'm good. Yeah, I'll hang out in DC.
Shout out to Natasha Romanoff and Captain Marvel and She-Hulk.
I was gonna say Brie Larson, Elizabeth Olsen.
Maybe in the movies.
In the movies, we're talking different. I mean, now you got
look at a comic book panel now in 2021. They basically just look like caricatures at this point.
True.
All right. The one question I have for you, Frank, though, is you chose Deadpool over Wolverine. What was the specific reason for that?
Because Wolverine, if he loses an arm, he doesn't grow it back. Deadpool has an advanced healing. He has the same healing factor, but it's bumped up times 10.
But you'll always look like a pepperoni slice.
That's only because he had cancer.
Interesting.
So his cancer is constantly degrading his body, but his body is constantly regenerating.
Because he should be dead. Like right now, the reason why he's able to still alive is because of his ability. Because technically, he's a rotting corpse.
Fair enough.
He's a living, rotting corpse. But if you put that healing factor into somebody who is healthy, which we've seen before with Deadpool, because after they've cured his cancer, he's like this blonde hair, just like
he looks absolutely he's just like chef's kiss because he goes back to like regular, which would be Ryan at this point. It would be Ryan Reynolds, looking like Ryan Reynolds, and it's just like Canadian treasure. So absolutely. Mario, superpower in universe, my friend.
I mean, the power that I've always loved and still to this day think is freaking crazy awesome, even when it was depicted in the movie, it's got to be Nightcrawler's Bamf ability to be able to teleport. I just think it looks cool when you do it. I think the added caveat, obviously, you need to know what you're looking or where you're going. Like you need to know what it looks like or something like that. I think that's an interesting caveat, but I get past that.
Do you remember that movie? That movie that came out years ago, where it was a live action movie, and the guy had the same powers, and he would just like rob banks and shit with it. Yeah, he would just like look at a picture. Jumper. Yeah, that movie was fucking sick.
Yeah, Jumper's good. Jumper's legit good.
Jumper was fucking sick, dude.
No, the idea of Jumper is actually really great. So yeah, it's sort of like a Jumper ability, though I wouldn't mind have looked like Nightcrawler, because I've always had the same like he looks sexy, and I'm like. Nightcrawler, if I looked like him, I would not be like, oh, I'm so scared by the color of my skin. No, I'm embracing it. I'm going out blue, half tank top, teleporting everywhere. Hell yeah. I would definitely do that.
I don't know why Beast is always like that. Just like, look at me, I look like a beast. I'm like, dude, there's a whole furry community who would love the shit out of you.
Yeah. Right? And Beast, and let's be honest, Beast in the cartoon looks good.
Cute.
He's kind of cute.
Got the little like wavy hair and shit.
Yeah, he has a little like the sort of like owl-y hair. I don't know.
My universe.
He hit different. That's all I'm saying. Universe, you know what? I'm gonna stick with Marvel. I'm gonna actually be one. I want to be one of the X-Men. I wouldn't mind living in a mansion with a bunch of people that get constantly blown up every week.
There's hot characters. There's hot characters in Marvel. I mean, they're all mainly X-Men, but still,
They're all mainly X-Men.
Exactly.
You have
there
Storm,
you go.
you have Rogue, you have
Most of them are
Jubilee,
dudes.
Kitty. You have all these other cool characters, but like everybody else is just like, yeah, whatever.
And Harv. Ability and universe, my friend.
All right, I would. Okay, so I'm not going MCU. I'm not going DCU. I'm not going fucking.
When you go to the Walking Dead universe, what is
We
this?
go Image Comics.
I'm going Heroes from the TV show Heroes.
All
right.
I
TV
accept
show?
that.
Yeah,
I accept that.
I'm gonna go Hero Nakamura.
Oh,
I'm
dude,
gonna want
was
to be
the
him, where he
dopest.
can warp
I
through
loved-
time and space.
Yes, I loved him.
Okay.
I would want that because that would be so much fun. I'm just
My
like
second
going
character
back.
would be Peter. I want to be Peter.
Oh, Peter would be awesome too. I would.
Yeah.
I want to go back. I want to see some shit. I want to go forward a little bit. See some shit, and then yeah, I think that'd be so much fun. And which universe? I don't know, honestly. I just pick our universe, where I live right now.
Hey, I mean, at least you'd be the most powerful one here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Let's
right.
be honest.
On
None
that
of these
note,
universes are fun. None of these universes are fun to live in.
Yeah. I think
But they're
Fee,
cool.
I think Fee still has to go, right?
Yeah.
oh, feet. Sorry, you were reading the question. I totally forgot you haven't.
It's
gone yet.
okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, other than the fact that I already have an ability, because I'm definitely Mount Girl from My Hero Academia.
Whoa. Oh,
Mountain
God.
Girl,
Yeah.
Mountain Girl from she's. If you don't
Mountain
know
Lady,
what the,
Mountain Lady,
yeah,
Mountain Ladies.
yeah. Well, her name, like her other alias, is like Mount Lady. Like it's
Got it.
and like Mount Lady because she's a
She's
giant lady.
the newer hero, right? The newer hero.
No, she's from episode 1.
Yeah,
she
but
shows
she
up
was
in
the
the-
newer. She was the
Yeah,
newer
she was the
hero.
newer. Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. No, it's a girl who goes from like regular size Sly to a absolute giant. Like she becomes like Godzilla to like tall.
Wait. When did you start watching My Hero Academia?
We're not going to talk about that.
Oh my
Like months
God.
ago. Yeah, at this point.
God. Without me.
Either way, no, I'm just joking. I think it'd be kind of cool to have like the ability to like water, mostly because, and I kind of agree with Sly, but also kind of the fact that like we only know like less than 10% of the ocean, so I think it'd be really cool to have
Right.
that ability because we don't know what's underneath. I know, Harv, you fucking hate this stuff, but that fascinates the shit out of me. Like
underwater.
Yeah.
Like,
Why-
I
why
love
go to-
space,
yeah,
but
why go to space? We have oceans.
Oceans.
Why go to
So-
space?
Exactly.
Space ladies.
I know, okay.
Space is the ultimate ocean.
I'm sorry.
Frank, are you down bad? You've been mentioning a lot.
Shattered dream.
Harvey, no, Frank is insanely down bad at the moment. No, but no, I think it'd
What
be kind of cool to have like.
though?
Mermaids aren't hot. Mermaids have gills. It looks like fucking
Okay,
Excuse
like-
you.
Shape of Water.
You don't know what
Have
they
you
look
watched The
like.
Lighthouse, my friend?
Have you ever watched The Shape of Water?
Yes.
Is that,
Oh,
isn't that the Guillermo del
geez.
Toro movie?
That is. I'd fuck that mermaid, whatever the fuck
I
that is.
mean, the merman.
The merman?
I mean, Kate said, "Hey, that guy was hot."
He
He was
was
kinda
hot.
hot.
He was hot as hell. I don't know what you guys are
Listen,
talking
if we're gonna
about.
give it to
Weird
Beast, we're gonna give it to the amphibian dude.
I don't
No,
know
okay,
if it's
no.
gonna be
Either
this
way,
way,
I
this way.
think like the problem is like there's just a lot of elements from all of them that I'm just not particularly interested in because like I would have probably like a little while ago would have maybe said like the boys in a way, just like the realistic aspect of it, but at the same time it's just there's a lot of things there that I do not like. I'd probably have to say, God, movie wise, Marvel, comic book wise, DC, anime wise, My Hero. There you go.
All right. A little indecisive there, but I'll take it.
I mean, I am indecisive.
I mean, this is Fee in a nutshell, honestly.
Yeah, welcome to my life.
There we go.
All right. Hey, Harv, what's with your obsession with Souls games?
I hate myself.
Ouch.
No, I when I first played my first Dark Souls game, I think I don't remember when it was. There was just something about it, like it didn't click with me at the top, like when I first played it, but then once I got through some bosses, like the combat just clicked. and it was just something that I just wanted to keep going, and I love difficult things, especially in video games. So it just gave me that next level of just be like, okay, this is difficult, but I know I can surpass this. And this is why I go for like those platinum trophies. This is why I go for like a lot of like the harder content, or I do challenge runs in Souls games and stuff like that, and Sekiro and like that kind of type of thing. So my obsession started with Dark Souls 1, went to Dark Souls 3, then Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne, and then to Sekiro. That's pretty much my road to hating myself.
Ouch.
Should we do one more?
Yeah.
I think we only have one more.
We have one more left?
We have two more, I think, but we can do one more. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What are your favorite drinks? This comes from Crafty Gamer Lady.
Love Crafty.
I love me a good rum and coke. I don't know about you guys.
I
I'm
like
basic.
the good old bubbly. If you guys, I'm just kidding.
Oh wow!
If you subscribe with our coupon code bubbly, oh my god, what are the odds, people?
Hey, did you hold something up? I couldn't see it.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry. Let me just lift it up just a little bit.
Oh, you were holding up a can of bubbly the whole time?
Oh my
Wow.
god,
Whoa!
absolutely not a sponsor.
Here's the thing. I like. This is gonna sound very silly. I like drinks that hurt. Now I'm saying like a ginger beer. I'm saying
Excuse me?
Wait.
I love a good
She likes the Dark Souls of drinks.
Like there is a okay. There is
hard relate.
okay. There is
Let's be
a
an old fashioned.
cider, like old fashioned. I like what is it? A Moscow Mule. Fantastic.
Love a Moscow
because
Mule.
burns. And then there is a specific drink from Halifax. It's made by a local place, and it is a habanero ginger cider. It is
Jesus Christ.
so fucking good. Like they're just
Can you send me this, please? Oh
absolutely
my God.
it was so freaking good. Let me find it. It is probably one of my
That's insane.
yeah, so I'm just like I just enjoy drinks like that. Though I also like a gin smash, which is gin and then usually a sparkling water with like citrus and stuff like that. Very, very good. But yeah, no.
Love that.
There you go.
Yeah, like I'll order an old fashioned if I want to get punched in the back of the throat, you know, because that thing is bitter, but
Oh yeah.
Also tasty. In some
Yes,
aspects.
Sly. It's literally called Heat of the Moment.
Love that.
That's awesome.
I love that.
I like it.
I don't know. I might get into beer because my friend Mike. No, he doesn't drink. He doesn't drink. Remember we had that coffee beer and I hated it.
I fucking hated that.
I
hate
do not
it.
like dark beer. Dark beer is not my thing.
Not into it.
I'm not
I don't
not
like
a drinker.
beer, but if I have a beer, it's gonna be like a porter. I had a chocolate cinnamon porter, and that was the
Okay.
only beer I've ever liked.
See, that sounds good. The coffee one just is like, no, I didn't. And honestly, I drank it when I wasn't like into coffee. I'm kind of into coffee now, just not black like that. Like that was strong.
It's too bitter.
I posted my
I love
the link for it.
coffee.
Okay.
The Heat of the Moment, but then there's also like a bunch of other ones like Sweet Temptation, and then they usually have like drinks associated with songs.
I might get into craft beer because my friend Mike Ruiz started his new job. He now works at a brewery. So
There you go.
if he sends me free stuff, I might get into drinking.
Yeah, I'm not a beer drinker. I don't drink beer. I like hard liquor though. I like whatever this shit is. This is pretty good.
Courier?
Yeah, I drink I can drink a fuck ton of Jägermeister. I love Jägermeister. This shit's so good.
Yeah.
But beer, no, I can't drink beer. Beer's not for me.
Jaeger mixed it with Mountain Dew, baby. So good.
No, definitely not. No, that shit.
I love it.
Do I want a fucking heart attack?
I love it. I love it so much.
What did I do, Reagan? Why am I getting out of
Yeah,
here?
you know what, Harv?
What
Get
did
out of
I
here.
do?
You know, we're
Get
kicking him out of the party right
outta
now.
here.
We're kicking him out of the party right now.
No, he's running the board. He can't do
I
that. Don't do that. He's the one person you can't do that to.
I like old fashions only if they have the big ice cube. They gotta have the big
Yeah.
ice cube. If they don't have the big
Oh,
ice
yeah.
cube,
I
it
agree.
ruins the drink.
I agree.
But
Yeah,
other than that,
big
like for when it comes to beers, I like IPAs. Big fan of IPAs.
Yeah.
And I like summer
Talking
beers.
about alcoholic drinks.
When you talk about pilsners, You like pilsners?
No, it's like more like craft summer drinks.
Got it.
Like the cucumber ales and stuff like that. Like that stuff is really, really, really good.
Yeah. The last one of those I had was like a strawberry one. It was really good.
Yeah. But Dustin was saying Trench Brewery where I'm from. That place is really, really good. Really good brewery.
The hell was that sound?
Someone's cat okay?
Oh, that's the kids playing outside.
Oh,
Jesus
okay.
Christ, is that kid okay?
Yeah, I like look over and Harv's just like, what? What's your problem?
You just look out the window, the kid is just laid out, just like,
Oh, it's some kids.
That's awesome.
Some kids playing outside. They're having a ball. Okay, they're having a ball.
Good for them. Good for them.
Nice.
For my favorite drink, I was gonna say tea. I love a good tea. Especially there's a ginger tea from Thailand that is one of my favorites. I also love a good tea from Nepal. There's some Nepali tea that I am absolutely in love with. But if we're going alcohol, I love me a cider. I love me a Moscow Mule. Anything with ginger, anything bubbly, pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh my god, just wait. I need to sell
sell
before we end this, I need to sell you all sell the audience on a drink that's like one of my favorites.
we got ad sponsorship?
To the point where I just left one night to specifically go to Starbucks to get this drink because it is
Is it the
yeah.
strawberry shortcake?
So good.
Yeah,
It
Is it
is
strawberry
so
shortcake? Because I've been having that.
No, it is okay. Now you need to get over the name of it. It's a steamed apple juice. Now what they do is they take the apple juice, they steam it with and then they add like a bunch of like seasonings like cinnamon, so it's almost like a cider but not really. And then they add caramel and a whipping cream on top, and it's like a candy. It's called a caramel apple like steamed. Like it's steamed apple caramel hot drink. It's very, very good. Would highly recommend it. It smells.
I had the strawberry
like
shortcake from Starbucks, so don't worry, it's not that far off.
No, it's so good. And like I literally tonight I was just like, if we did not have the podcast right now, I'd be going to Starbucks. Like I would. I just really, really, really wanted one, and I'm like, fuck. But I'm not gonna order like. I'm not gonna pay $4 for someone to drive up the street to get me Starbucks.
Do you have somebody in the next room that could do it for you?
Starbucks is closed.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's midnight over there.
That is fair.
Almost midnight.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely get it this weekend. But I would highly recommend it if you like coffee, or if you're looking for an alternative, if you don't want something with caffeine, I'd highly recommend that when you go to Starbucks.
Yeah.
Oh, freaking good. You're welcome, guys.
It does sound really good. If I'm in the area, which there is a Starbucks in the area that we used to work, I will, if they have it, I will try it out. And if it's terrible, I will charge you.
Yeah, you know what? Tell me if you don't like it, and I will give you money.
Patron?
This is Patron. Yeah, I got some Patron right here.
There you
Wait,
go.
I was like, what?
He's about to get it on.
No.
I'm
drinking tomorrow. I'm drinking tomorrow.
I gotta find a bottle of Hennessy for it as a joke.
Reagan and I are going out tomorrow to go have some drinks.
Take some pictures to have a good time.
Yeah, it's a caramel apple spice steam juice. That's a heads up, guys, if you want the official name.
Very nice. That last question, by the way, I think we should say that. That's like a whole thing on itself.
Yeah. I think that'll be a good segment later. So thank you everybody for asking questions. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for interacting with us and supporting us and encouraging us.
Yeah.
We love you so much. You're all the best. And we're gonna wrap this show up. So before we head out of here, let's tell the people what you're working on and where we can find you. Frank, you want to go first?
Yeah, you can. I'm working on some projects. I think we've all been kind of brainstorming what we're trying to do for the eventual like PiP 2.0 when that eventually happens. But there is stuff in the works with me and Mario, with everybody else here. But you can find me here at Point in Progress, where I talk with these people every week. You can find me at Twitch or at Twitter, where I talk shit about everything. And then you can find me at Twitch, where I still don't stream. All under Kestrel 1A.
Yeah, you got to play just enough so you get past the cash out, and then you stop. then you just stop.
No. I got to figure out what I want to do with with the streaming stuff.
Sure.
It's hard to find a game that I like to stream. That's the problem.
Sure.
Is I can't find a game that I can sit down and stream for a long time, because eventually I start to feel like bad anxiety with the games that I'm playing. So
Sure.
I have to find a game that's like a nice happy medium.
No, that is fair.
All right. Fee, where can the people find you? What are you up to? What's going on?
You can find me here. You can find me over at twitch.tv/beard in the hair when he streams us playing Final Fantasy. You can also find me on my own channel and Twitter at Zoranix. You can see how it's spelled below my name. And it's in the podcast description if you're listening to this on Spotify. But yeah, you can find me there. Also, bi-weekly, I do a Stadia podcast with two of my good friends, Jake and Aaron, over on the Game Source Network YouTube channel. So please make sure to check us out. We had a really good episode last week. Unfortunately, Aaron wasn't there, but we did have a guest, which was really exciting, and we had a lot to talk about. So definitely check us out.
Love that.
All right.
All right. Mario, what are you up to? Where can the people find you? What's going on?
I'm still fighting DMCA with my Twitter. My Twitter is still locked up, so follow me at that backup Mario if you are currently want to keep up with me up to the days that go on. Also,
the
please,
days go by.
That's right. If you can, of course, you always find me here at Point in Progress, but you can also find me at youtube.com/thatMarioRivera every Wednesday, where I do a Halo episode. The last episode, of course, I shot was with Fiona. It is available now. The entirety of season 1, the entire Master Chief, Combat Evolved is complete. So you can watch all of those interviews. So many wonderful people got in and really just had a wonderful chat with all of them. So enjoy. Season 1's available on audio podcast and also on youtube.com/MarioRivera. Season 2 will begin in about 2 weeks. I'm just doing a 1-week hiatus to bank up episodes, and then we'll begin season 2, starting with Max Roberts, who works at Disney. So that's fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's cool. He helped develop some of the stuff at the parks, and we talked about that very shortly. But he's a good friend of mine, and so very glad to have him on. So please, definitely, where can we find you on Twitter? That you can find me at that backup Mario. That's where you find me on Twitter.
Yeah, get Max to get us some Disneyland tickets, bro.
I would love that. I would love that, actually.
Don't actually do that, but
I want to go.
Harv, take it away.
You can find me here on Point in Progress. You can find me at Beard in the Hair pretty much everywhere. I am working on a video that is going to be released on Monday, which is kind of a Souls video, but it's kind of like a list video, which I'm really kind of excited about, that I've been putting my time into. That should be up on Monday or Tuesday of next week on Beard in the Hair Gaming for YouTube. But other than that, you can find me here on PiP.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And you can find me on Goodreads and Duolingo at Slyclone. That's CLYCLONE. Please add me on Goodreads and Duolingo there. You can find me on TikTok at SlycloneMC, and you can find me on Twitter under the same name, where you can find me thirst tweeting about dead composers. So that's what I've been up to. Did you not see my thirst tweet?
No, I didn't see that today at all.
All right, go check out my Twitter for that thirst tweet.
All right, we'll do.
With that being said, that concludes our episode 20 of the Point in Progress podcast. Make sure to check out Point in Progress on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all of the places. We're at Point in Progress, everywhere you can imagine. And with that, progress has been made. Thank you, everybody.
Shout out to Cher.
What up, Cher?
what up, Cher? Contact your local representative and tell them to free Mario Rivera.
That's right.
Yeah, fuck you, Twitter.
Cher only has a first name.
Okay.